everyone, my name is Jaybird and welcome back to AIRIS. That's all that needs to be said. Without any further ado, let's just jump into it. Someone screams beside me, snapping me back to my senses. Lyle? My eyes reopen to a new world, my back lying flat against the cool ground. I grope around, ooh, get a little handsy there, and feeling a sudden jolt when I touch something hard. Oh, hard and sharp. Oh, hard and sharp. I realize the sword has come with us. Instinctively, I know this is the world the king so desperately wanted access to. Everything is in shambles, and there is no sign of anyone living here. But I suppose that's the point. Even I can feel the beats of mana thrumming in the air around me, and when I look up, I see that there's a portal only a few steps away. Light pulsates through and around it. It must be the one the king wanted access to. I try to start a conversation with Lyle, but our words come out stilted and slow. All I want to do right now is comfort Lyle for the king's sudden actions in the reveal guarding the king's magic over them, but I do not know how. What if I make things worse? Are you alright?
Yeah. Are you?
Yeah.
Alia, thank you for following me here.
No problem. It's what we do. Protect each other and follow each other to the depths of the world, right?
Right.
So, this is the place, huh?
Yeah.
Teddy? Where's Teddy?
I suspect she couldn't cross the portal or use the key or whatever because she's not a vassal.
Cringing, I whip out a summoning capsule and crush it in my hands, envisioning her face in my mind. However, she does not appear. The capsule has been wasted. Lyle sees the failure and casts their gaze down sadly. Why won't it work?
Maybe the summoning capsules don't work across the distance, or maybe the king has jammed it somehow. I don't know if that's possible, but if it is, he would have done it. He's generally pretty quick to act.
Mother of Souls, Mother of Souls, no. Do you think she'll be safe? What if the king harms her or uses her as hostage, or...
Don't worry, he won't.
My breath hitches in my throat. Do they still have faith in the king after what we've just gone through, or are they speaking out of blind denial?
The king is a lot of things, but I don't think he'll hurt Teddy. He loves animals. The man I revered loved animals. Even if he's different now, I don't think he'll go as far as to hurt Teddy, although he may threaten it.
He tried to hurt you.
It was obvious that any pain inflicted as a result of the sword wouldn't be permanent.
You were in pain, Lyle. You were wailing. He watched and forced you to continue. Besides, don't emotional scars count?
I don't think he meant to hurt me.
Lyle, I have never known a greater fool than you.
It's the same for me, I think. I'm the biggest idiot I've ever known, and somehow I'm almost proud of it. When I first joined the castle, he let me call him all sorts of things, provided we weren't around anyone we had to keep appearances for.
I tilt my head, wondering why he's suddenly reminiscing about the king again.
Papa, father, uncle, Leo.
Lyle chuckles to himself, but their laughter is hollow.
Well, he flicked my forehead whenever I called him Leo, so maybe that doesn't count, but I don't think he ever minded it too much.
I wrinkle my nose. The king doesn't seem like the man, like the type of person who'd let some servant child address him so casually, and Lyle's words don't agree with what I've seen of their conversations with the king personally.
He loved to disguise himself as a commoner and take me and a few other servants to festivals and parties. At some point, the servants' rooms in the castle formed more a foster home than, well, the servants' quarters. You don't believe me, do you? Well, I don't expect you to.
Lyle, you idiot. Back. Of course I believe you. Lyle hesitates before nodding.
I know it's not true. I know it can't be true, but I can't help but hope that the puppeteering spell he cast on me was some way of checking up on me. A sign that he still cares about me, if only a little.
For whatever reason, there's no doubt in my mind that no matter how unrealistic everything they're saying is, Lal isn't lying. Perhaps the king deceived them. Perhaps his kindness was a ruse from the beginning. But whatever the king's reasons for his past actions and seeming complete change, I believe Lyle's words match up perfectly with their honest interpretation of the facts. I trust them. I trust them, and any sign of misery from them is a knife to the gut. They're my best friend. Is that really all? Would I really react so enormously to their every wince, every smile, every worry if... Stop. No, keep going! Keep going, Alia! Keep going! The tensions must be getting to my head. I don't what? My thoughts mean. I don't know what my thoughts mean, but now is not the time for such trivial woes, and Lal sure as hell doesn't share my feelings, whatever it is I feel. No, you'd be surprised. What's important right now is the suffering the king has caused Lao. Regardless of their past, I still don't agree with their devotion to the king, although I do understand it better now. The king is corrupt, and I detest... No, wait. Is that really the whole truth? Is the king really so evil as I make him out to be? No question about it. I don't think so. Of course not. Of course not. Of course not. No, of course not. He's the king, and I don't think the traits necessary for a good king and a good man overlap all that well. Just because I hate his actions towards Lal doesn't make him any less of a fair ruler filled with dedication towards improving circumstances regarding the monsters that have been wreaking havoc on our home. And even his perceived offenses against Lal are only to be expected for a king. I don't loathe him any less for the fact, but it's true. There's no king out there who would care enough to spend their rare free time frequenting with servants, much less treating them as their own, especially when he's had children of his own. Wait, he's had children of his own? As for wait, King Leo has his own children? What? What? Why weren't they ever mentioned up until this point? What? As for his actions in bringing Lyle here, though it was a gross breach of trust, it did bring us here. We probably would have never found this place without the act, and what would happen to AIRIS then? Kings rule, and they, by necessity, take every action they can in order to protect and further the growth of their realm. King Leo has been no different. As a result of my fondness for Lyle, it seems I've been overreacting to the smallest of seemingly negative remarks and actions from him. I suppose my feelings on the matter don't matter in any case. My primary goal is to protect AIRIS and my birthplace and home, and the king's interests align with mine there. As I finished my thoughts, I looked towards Lyle, and only to see them utterly still, deeply entrenched in thoughts of their own. Moments pass in silence before they shift. Blinking down tears, they smile and shake their head.
Well, we should return and report our findings.
Well, should we return and report our findings? Well, I'm dispirited by the way Lyle seems so eager to continue pleasing the king despite what they faced. I nod.
Of course. Anelia, thank you for following me here. I needed your company.
I'm glad I helped. I'm really sorry the king put you through what he did. He's the most important person in your life, and I'm sure he knows it, so...
What? He's not.
What? I am, of course! Of course he is. Of course it is. You live for him, and you plan to die for him.
He's my savior. I owe him everything.
Exactly. You're supporting my argument.
That doesn't make him the most important person in my life, though.
It's me.
I thought you knew that.
What are you talking about?
And yes, I'll die for the king, but I'll gladly die for you first if the situation arises.
Aww. That's way more morbid than sweet, you know? Shut up, me! Okay? I can think that's sweet if I want to think that's sweet.
I know, I'm sorry. What I'm trying to say, though, is that I care about you. I don't think that's all, Lyle! I don't think that's all!
I freeze, my heart skipping a few beats from hope, realizing they care most about me, and then I stumble again, this time from dread. Is that really it? We're just friends? Why do I even care so much? Because you're in love with them, you fucking idiot! I avert my gaze, taking my eyes off theirs, and realize their ears are redder than a ripe tomato. Can I dare hope for something else? Something more? Is it possible Lyle is concealing their feelings towards me? Whatever they are and however strong they are, because of our uncertain futures? Because Lyle doesn't want me to end up hurt as a result of their ill-timed confession? Or maybe they don't want to tell you because they think the same thing. They think that you're Perhaps I'm being egotistical and overly optimistic, and this is not the time for feelings of all things. Who needs feelings? Feelings make you weak. But will it ever be? I'm just as ignorant as they are as to how things will end up for us. I don't know if Lyle still plans to sacrifice himself, and I don't know if I'll be able to stop them. Hell, I don't even know if I'll be alive for very long. It's possible I'll end up sacrificing myself, too, in a moment of doubt. Or perhaps a moment of clarity. The two are much the same in the end, logically damned. But no matter what, I'm not going to leave things like this, without even a clear resolution. Lyle, do you really want to stay friends? Wow.
What are you talking about?
I know you have doubts of about our futures. Frankly, so do I. But if I do mean if we feel anything more, isn't that even more the reason to admit to them now? I don't want either of us dying before we even admit our feelings. We may not have long left. That's precisely why we should treasure what little time we may have and make as much out of it as we can. Besides, we found the portal! Finally, we can truly hope for a brighter future of AIRIS. For AIRIS. The circumstances that led us here were truly terrible, but that doesn't mean we can't still be happy for our country's future. And that doesn't mean we have to stunt our hopes at bliss, fleeting as it may end up. Lyle's probably just like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Same here! I'd be like, what are you talking about now?
Lyle takes a step back, shaking their head erratically. I take a step forward to maintain the distance between us, just as they change their mind and steps forward themselves, causing us to bump into each other. We freeze, then break into soft, nervous laughter.
Alright, maybe you're right. Hey, Leah, you're the most important person in my life, and that's not only because you're my best friend.
Why is it then? My heart flutters wildly, and I involuntarily swallow.
You know exactly what I'm trying to say, don't you? You're just trying to make me say everything out loud.
Not necessarily. I suspect I do. I could be wrong. Lyle rolls their eyes before they continue.
I love you. I'm a mess of a human being, and you're far too great for me, but I love you. Even my confession is a huge mess. The pain may be gone now, but mother of souls, I did feel like we were dying mere minutes ago, and I've been crying the whole time.
If you're a mess, then so am I. We're perfect for each other!
What?
As for the confession, you're again right. Our confession has been a huge mess so far. But you just said you were a mess, and I admitted to being a mess myself. This terrible timing is perfect for us.
But I did hope, since you continued the train of thought yourself, this is...
You know what I think? I think confessions feel incomplete without a kiss. Wow! Wow! Lyle's blush spreads throughout their face, and with a chuckle, I pull them towards me until we lock lips. Wow, okay. Wow, we don't even get to see it! I'm so disappointed. Before I know it, my hands find my way into their hair, and their hands tighten around my waist and back so naturally, so right, that I wonder if this is really our first kiss together. Or perhaps it's the most awkward makeout the world has ever seen, and I'm too infatuated and flustered to see it. Oh, is that why we don't get to see it? Come on, the kiss lasts an eternity of bliss, and yet feels far, far too short. It's with disappointment that I let go, and I only do so for there are far more important matters at hand. Let's return now, shall we?
Yeah, of course.
How are we going to take the sword back with us?
Touched it for an eternity, and getting it won't take long enough for contact to teleport us back. I'm sure I can continue suffering for a few more seconds while we work.
You can? No, I followed you here, and I'm not going to let you endure any pain alone. If you're going to face pain, so am I.
It's pointless. Only one of us has to suffer. Why make it two?
I don't care. Why don't we just make it me then? I'll touch the sword while we teleport back, and you can be painless.
I'm not going to let you.
See? This is at least a compromise. Who knows? Maybe if both of us touch it, the pain will be shared. Maybe that's why we didn't die from a cardiac arrest from the pain when we warped here.
I'm sure that was more because we're not supposed to die to further the goddess's cause more than anything.
I don't care. Are we going back home or not? Lao sighs.
I suppose this is better than arguing for the rest of the day. Let's go.
Wow. Cute. The king nods along as we continue to tell them what happened to us. Teddy is by his side, and she looks surprisingly tame, albeit slightly confused. Perhaps the king's conduct from earlier have been filtered out her mind, or perhaps the king has taken the time to deliberately have her memories erased. The latter is certainly a possibility, given the fact that he claimed to have been erasing servants' memories of his puppeteering, and because Lyle said they took Teddy to the king to have a filter placed on her when they first gave her the ability to speak to us. Who knows what the king had the time to also implement? Oh, something that would now aid his power over her mind? Maybe.
Well, now that you have showed us evidence for your claims by disappearing, I must sincerely apologize for my lack of trust. It seemed simply unbelievable that you were being honest, you see, when there wasn't even a single spark coming from you when you touched the sword. Oh, really? Hey, were there any injuries on your fingers after the fact?
I understand, my lord. We are grateful you have granted us a second chance by listening to us.
The king nods and cups his chin with his hand.
Now, it would be best if we are able to study the portal in great depth, so that we know exactly what we're getting into before we attempt to start forming any concrete plans. I presume that it does not need to be either of the two of you who wields the sword, provided that your replacement is a vassal. But of course, I will not require that you continue to face whatever pain you claim to describe. The two of you have already discovered the sword and gone through the lengths to prove yourselves, and my dedication to your honesty. Furthermore, I truly must apologize for the worries my doubts must have caused you.
No apologies are necessary, my lord. You spoke with the best interests of AIRIS in mind.
Perhaps. In any case, I find it fitting that the two of you should be the ones to spearhead the revolution against the alien forces. I've already started spreading the word about this incredible news. Soon, we will be prepared to defend ourselves against our foes, and perhaps even gain precious resources in the process if the magic is strong enough to let us use their own technologies against them. If they plan to end us, we will show them that AIRIS is an incredible nation of warriors who will not be trifled with. Now, I hate to ask this of you, but we will need to ask you to warp us there. Afterwards, I'd of course require that you hand us the sword for permanent safekeeping. If you'd like to resign the duty of teleporting there to a fellow vassal, I completely understand, of course. There are more than a few who would be privileged by the chance to benefit AIRIS.
I understand. I have nothing against doing it myself, but
Lau glances at Teddy with a conflicted expression, no doubt trying to find a way to tactfully ask the king if he blocked Teddy's ability to be summoned somehow. I helped them out by asking the question myself. It's something I'm curious about either way, in any case. Your Highness, did you somehow stop us from teleporting Teddy to us? We tried to summon her, but it didn't work. The king's face contorts.
Is that why she never poofed? I was wondering why she never disappeared myself.
you didn't?
Of course not. I do not even know if such a thing is possible. Have you been able to summon her to other places? Perhaps the summoning magic simply does not work on non-human creatures.
We've never had any trouble before.
This is certainly worrying. I'd ask to let you test it again on us, but I'm afraid such actions may prove moot.
The king gestures towards a servant nearby.
Go bring a vassal. Any with a trustable record is fine.
The servant nods before scurrying away. When he opens the doors outside the throne room, however, he is punched aside.
Kylan? Kylan! Hey, you finally made it! We kept mentioning you, buddy! Finally you show up!
Kylan the aggressor? But why? He rushes in. You must stop this!
How did you get in here? I thought I ordered...
I've never been a bad fighter, though that may never have been where my interests lie. In any case, you must... Kylan's eyes widen as he takes in Lyle and me, and then the sword on the floor next to us. Aelia! Oh, thank God! I feared my time here would be in vain, but if you're here... I've been looking for you forever, but you were always gone. What are you doing?
What are you doing, God? Seize him!
However, aside from the bodyguards next to the king, who hesitantly look to him in doubt. To the him in doubt! 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 No guards show. None will be showing. I've already incapacitated them on the way here. Don't worry, they're not dead, of course. Before I can utter a word, sharp icicles shoot from the ground, and Kylan grunts as he springs back. The head mage. Please wait! What's going on? What has Kylan done? I know he supposedly sympathizes with and perhaps even supports the enemy, but our side is on the verge of winning, and it's not like Kylan could have done anything to hinder us.
He's a traitor to the crown who has been spreading lies.
What? But you cannot imprison a man for lying.
Does the man look imprisoned to you? I simply barred him from entering castle promises. Entering castle promises, although now that he has so clearly rejected courtly orders, I suppose they can friendly incarcerate him.
Adia, listen. To me! Kylan shouts in desperate panic as he continues evading the barrage of attacks from the mage. The king plans to wipe out the population of Earth! Next to me, Lyle goes slack-jawed and pales.
Silence his insane cries, Marissa!
That's impossible.
I'm trying to, Your Majesty. He's too fast for my attacks to land. Not just enemies, everyone. It's probably been his plan from the beginning.
That's impossible. Don't you dare spread lies.
Ha! You're probably in on it too. Momentarily, I find myself doubting Lyle, but the feeling quickly flees. I know Lyle. They have kept secrets from me, but that's been with sufficient reasons until now. And now they think too little of their own life. They've always valued others. Besides, there's no guarantee that Kylan is even telling the truth. As I think, Lyle shakes and shakes, their skin white as sheets, and I reach out in an attempt to comfort them through contact. No, they're not. They're definitely not. You don't... Ugh, it doesn't matter. What matters is that the king knows full well what he's doing, and his goals aren't to help AIRIS. I've never been.
Silence!
Want to know what the king has told the population while you were gone? Silence!
Nothing I've told the people has been abhorrent. You are only twisting my words to make my actions seem more drastic than they are.
Ha! As if. Aryans will have the choice to evacuate the Earth by occupying Earthlings' bodies the way they did to you, but permanently. His preferred plan of action? Taking bodies of the people on Earth to seize Earth's resources and use it against not only the beasts, but also them in a one-sided war to seize power over them and steal their resources. If that fails, he wants to give up on AIRIS altogether and take the body of powerful individuals for himself and those most loyal to him. Do you know what that entails? Either way, countless Earthlings are slaughtered for his greed. And unlike with here, the victors won't even be volunteers. The king wants Earth's resources, has always wanted Earth's resources, and he doesn't care who he must hurt for him. Could Kylan be telling the truth? The king knows nothing, the Earthlings are doing the same to us. There's nothing I can do about it. We're gonna say the Earthlings would do the same to us. My words strike through, and Kylan pinches back. That doesn't mean you should do the same right back. And as for proof that I'm speaking the truth, think, Aelia. Would I be here risking my neck if I were lying? If I weren't speaking the truth, would he want me silenced so desperately? Wouldn't he be laughing at my lunacy? His attacks are evident to the contrary. I inhale sharply as I take a step back. Kylan's right. The king has, in essence, admitted to the truth in trying so desperately to capture or hurt him. As if to note my doubts, the king returns to the head mage in panic.
Grab the sword!
Shit. A moment later, the sword rises to the air. Flinching at the pain that will inevitably barrage my body, I reach out and seize it. Amidst the burning haze, I feel the sword thrusting itself away from me.
Aelia.
I allow attempts to reach out and help, only to drop their arms, then unsheathe their dagger with an ear-slicing scrape. Horror is plain on their faces as they swing. Everything shifts to a hazy tunnel vision. The dagger gets closer and closer, inch by inch. As a jolt, Lao's hand shoots the slightest bit forward of their own will, just as the dagger near cuts my skin, and what makes contact with the skin of my neck first is their hand. I hear the dagger clatter to the ground, followed by Lao's piercing howl. As I fade away, I hear... What is happening? I'm confused! I hear the king shouting as if to lately tried to convince us to remain on his side despite the murder attempt, or perhaps to justify his actions to himself a mile.
Earthlings are working to override our tampers on their axis as we speak. If we do not hurry and attack first, we shall perish.
I have no idea what just happened. I'm confused. Again, we wake up woundless and painless. We've landed in a slightly different location from before, but I can still see the portal nearby pulsating. Lao looks sick to their stomach, like they are 3 seconds away from vomiting. So am I.
The king, he's never... But he is?
I'd comfort them, but I'm exactly the same as them. Too busy panicking and mumbling to myself words that don't even make sense together to string together. Coherent thought, much less comfort others. I can't believe this. He said he didn't know. He said any sacrifices would be from volunteers. All this time, what have we been doing? How many people live there? How many people were we meant to kill? Would we ever have known? Would they ever have told us? Would he have even told us after the fact? Is that even a good thing if he would have? We could have basked in the guilt for all of eternity. How wonderful! Better to be ignorant. Much better to be ignorant. But then I'd still have killed people. I wouldn't deserve ignorance. Wouldn't deserve bliss. Wouldn't... Dear Mother of Souls, what do I do now? What can I do? What? Am I a murderer? Will I be a murderer? Will I be able to stop the king? But then AIRIS... Am I? A dull pain in my scalp. I've been pulling at my scalp. How long? Since when? Does it matter? I continue to pull, only to be jolted out of my helter-skelter. I've never heard that term before. Helter-skelter thoughts by sudden contact with Lyle. Aww. 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 Yes, I keep saying aw, okay? Shut up. Leave me alone. Let me have my life, okay? This is what I do with my life. It's sad, probably, maybe, most likely, but I don't care. It makes me happy. Taking a screenshot because I'm happy. Ba-do-do-do-do-do.
Please look up at me. I can't bear to see you like this. It's alright, Elia. It's okay.
He looks like he's not... They don't look like they're making even eye contact with me.
We haven't done anything yet, and nothing says we have to.
But...
We'll figure this out, somehow.
Will anything we do even make a difference? Probably not.
I don't know, but we have the sword, and the king can't control me while we're here. The power remains with us for now. I don't know what we'll be able to do, if we'll be able to do anything. Mother of Souls, I don't know what I even want to do. All the possibilities feel so bleak. But we can brainstorm, and we can try to figure something out. I don't know if it'll be alright, Elia, I swear it.
Aww. Shut up, okay? Let me have my moment, okay? Just enjoy this moment, okay? Why do I keep saying okay, okay? I'm weird, okay? Why do I keep saying okay? It doesn't even sound like a real word. They lean down and kiss me on the cheeks, then trail up to kiss my forehead. That makes more sense than trails up. The extra contact surprises me, but also comforts me just the way they likely intended to.
We can face this. We've faced so much already, and we've managed to endure. We'll find a way to save AIRIS without becoming monsters.
This is probably going to be a sad ending, right? It's always a sad ending first, and then the rest are happy ones. Probably, I think, yeah. Fuck's sake, I'm trying to take a screenshot and it keep... Fuck! No! I didn't do it yet. Fuck you. I'm not talking to anyone, by the way. I'm talking to the kid. Talking to my screenshotting thing. My screenshot app. Just like, God damn it, asshole. I didn't even get to take it. There we go. Perfect. Is that... Fuck! No, I didn't even get to read that! Fuck's sake! Whatever. If anything, Lyle should be the more distraught of the two of us, and I should be the one comforting them. There's no doubt that they are internally shrieking in grief and hopelessness. And unlike me, they also have to face the fact that the man they've respected so much for most of their life has been using them as a pawn for mass murder. I bring my arms around them, and I give them a tight squeeze before stepping back. What about you, though? Are you alright? Lyle falters and swallows.
I honestly don't know, Elia. I don't know what to think or feel. For so long, he's been my anchor to life. Yes, he's only ever drifted apart these past few years. Yes, I've always known that the man I loved all those years ago was slowly disappearing amidst the tensions of the war. Even so, he meant everything to me.
Lyle hesitates before they continue.
I wonder if the drift between us and the way he's changed so much is in part because of me. I was one of the first people to volunteer to be a vassal when he was staunchly against my ever becoming involved. I left the small but cozy servants' quarters I had in the castle for an even smaller, rodent-infested room in a motel 2 years later because of some some half-hearted dream of independence. When his wife and closest confidants were killed by monsters, I was away on a 2-month journey with a group of warriors I barely even knew. When his birth children fell to a plague that was passing by,
Oh, that's what happened to his children.
I was hopping from one cheap inn to another 9 towns away from here. All the years when he had to struggle with logistics and protecting AIRIS from a multitude of external threats, all those years when he was virtually alone and I knew it, I was out chasing grand dreams of heroism that were never actualized. When I returned from my journeys years later, he'd long been a changed man. The light in his eyes was gone, as was the joy of his voice, as was the stability of his moods and the wisdom in his mind. I thought he'd been fine. I thought he'd stay the magnanimous king yet forever. Thought he was immune to the reaches of battles and losses. I'm not cocky enough to think any of my actions, or lack thereof, causes changes, of course. In the grand scheme of things, I am nothing, and I would have changed little to nothing even if I had been by his side. Even so, I can't help but wonder. I can't help but wish I had been by his side, cheering him on, motivating him and believing in him the way he did for me when he found me.
Lyle.
Yeah, I know. I'm beyond denial. But we can have hope, right? Hope that the king is better intentioned than he lets on, and hope that everything will work out in the end.
I don't know.
We do have the sword, Alia. The king can't do anything without our help for now. We may not have good choices, but we do have choices, which is more than we could have hoped for, considering we're only warriors.
Do we really have the right to choose the path AIRIS follows? Do we really have the right to condemn a population to death for the sake of another?
I don't know. I don't think so. But it doesn't matter whether it's or not it's justified. Even if we don't even stop to consider a path, the only alternative is that the king's path is actualized. If that's going to happen regardless, I think it's better that we at least stop to ensure that that's the best course of action first.
I suppose you're right. I sigh, my chest tight and heavy. What do you suppose we do?
It's up to you. I trust your judgment.
Don't say that. It's not comforting, even though I know that's probably your intent. It just makes me feel more responsible for everything that's going to happen.
Oh, that wasn't what I meant to do at all. I'm sorry. Let's think this through together, shall we?
Yeah. We still have to think, neither of us speaking up. The decision is too hard to make, and it's even harder to talk about it. The silence stretches on for what seems like hours. The one to disturb it is me, and I do it with a little titter, which grows into a snicker, which grows into disgustingly loud guffaws. Jaffa! And that slice through the tranquility in the air like knives. Lyle raises their brows in curiosity and confusion, but they continue to look perfectly somber despite my sudden streak of insanity. Screw this, mother soul, screw this. We can't possibly accept the deaths of everyone in AIRIS. Think about Everett and Ridri and all our other friends. Think about our family members sacrificing themselves so that we could be here right now. Think about the other vassals. They face many of the same things. Think about everyone who's been sacrificed, whether voluntarily or otherwise, instead of us. If we die, if any of us die, it sure as hell isn't going to be so that the Earthlings can invade us. We can't let them.
Alia,
Do you agree with me or not?
of course I do. Could it be any other way? The king may have turned out to be a monster, but if I think about it myself in his shoes, if I had been saddled with the same responsibilities as him, I'd be no different. It's just that I wish things were different. I wish we could change something.
But we can't. Val echoes my words, their voice a notch quieter.
But we can't.
Mother of souls, this is outrageous. I'm outrageous. I'm a fiend.
We both... No, neither of us are. This is the wisest decision we can make given the circumstances. This is the only choice we really have to make. If anything can be blamed for this, it's the circumstances we face, the history that led us to this moment. Besides, the plan would have come to fruition even if it weren't for us. I'm sure the sword would still have been found by someone else.
We weren't special for finding it, only lucky or unlucky. The warrior from before got to it long before we did. It's just that he didn't have any warps on him, remember? Yes, but nothing. Even if we hadn't, someone else would have found the sword, and the king's current plan would have progressed even more smoothly. I'm sure of it. You're probably right. Lyle and I sit down and set our hands and jizz above the sword as we look for warp capsules. For AIRIS. For AIRIS. I'm so confused. Oh! Achievement unlocked! New world, new life! Wow! Why do I look like Samus from Metroid? Sorry, I've never played the game before, but I know what it is. I just never played it. I wake up to the sound of birds singing, flowers blooming, kids like you should be burning in hell. Yeah, only to realize that there aren't any birds at all. I rub my eyes and stretch before I look around my new surroundings. The sounds come from a device close to the bed. I fumble with it for a while, trying to figure out how to turn off the music, only to almost drop it when it begins to vibrate in my hands. I push myself off the bed and stretch my legs as I slowly get accustomed to my new body. Seeing a chair right next to me, I plop right down. Rather than stabilizing me, the chair rolls backwards, and I almost stop in a strange mix of shock and delight. I pull the chair closer to the wall where there's a strange black mirror hanging. I tilt my head and look around, seeing my new body. Oh yeah, that's a fucking TV! The body of my once controller for the first time, and comparing my appearance with that of my old body. Before I can experiment and search any longer, there's a call from what seems like downstairs. Sis! Haru is here to see you! Haru? The name sounds strangely familiar, though I can't quite place it. Is it a name I heard back in AIRIS? Or is it familiar only to the ears of my new body? I hesitantly take a few steps forward, trying to figure out where I should go to meet my guest. However, the worries are for naught. A boy who looks to be around 3 years younger than me, than Alia, storms into the room with someone who looks closer to my age. Oh my god! Why is it that they look so much like they're... Why is it that AIRIS, like the game's characters look so much similar to the Earthlings people? Like, what the fuck? The second person is a complete stranger to me, but their hairstyle is incredibly familiar, bringing a smile to my face. Both of them are dressed in outfits that, while cute, I can only describe as outlandish. When I look down, I realize I'm dressed exactly the same way. You must be Haru. And you must be Emily. Emily. The boy rolls his eyes before scurrying back off to where he came from. Are you guys drunk or something? Why are you acting like it's the first time you've met? Ugh, weirdos. His jibe momentarily reminds me of Teddy, and I fret. Saying Haru, no, Lyle reacts similarly, I sigh. So, how are we supposed to help AIRIS while we're here? Haru flashes me a sheepish smile. I'm not quite sure myself, but the king did say that he'd contact us when necessary. I hope Teddy manages to convince the king to let her communicate with us through whatever methods he has. Lyle nods. I miss her already. Till they do, though, I think the best way to serve AIRIS is to make the best out of the lives we live now. We need to be in as great of a position as possible to help serve the king when the time comes and he finally needs our help. Look at that. Oh. I saw a bulge. I'm like, look at that bulge. I don't know what form power takes in this world. Somehow, I doubt it's simply knowing how to fight or cast spells like it was at home, and I no longer have access to my magic in any case. But whatever form it takes, we should persevere to seize it. Why am I so bad at reading everything today? I see, not a bad plan. I can't help but grin at those words as I poke Lyle in the chest. You plan to make the best out of your life, huh? And I plan to live as long as I can, so long as you're here with me. No. You should live as long as you can, regardless of my presence. Well, I'll work on that slowly. For now, though, I'm just glad we're here, together. Yeah, I feel the same way. Those words temporarily are last. Lal and I jump into a tight hug. I know nothing of this world, and I know little of what we live will now face. But I know for sure that we'll try our best together, and that I never want us to let go of each other. And that's all that really matters in the end, isn't it? Aw, that was a sweet ending. That was a sweet ending. I thought it was gonna be sad, but it's actually really sweet. It was really sweet. Wow. Now I'm just waiting for everything to go wrong. Wow, that was sweet. So next episode we will be doing the second ending. And then the rest of them we'll do in the last episode. And then it'll be done. Yep. Sounds like a plan to me. Wow. Well, guys, that's going to be it for this episode of AIRIS. If you guys enjoyed this episode and you want to see more, then leave a like down below, leave a comment down below, share it with your friends, subscribe if you haven't, ring that notification bell, and remember, die safely. Bye-bye!